cafe for quite a while, doing different art lessons, but I also help in the kitchen, which is wonderful. Okay, so let me tell you what we're going to do today. Our project today is a folding book. Here's an example of a folding book. It's very simple. You don't need many materials. So here's the inside. And this is a folding book that I did describing myself. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you what I did in this folding book. This first image here is pretty representative of a female. Okay. She has some decorative items up around the head, and you can tell that it's taken from a pre-Columbian type of design. Okay. Now, okay, the face, the eyes, kind of a background area here, and in this one, I used a little bit of different techniques in this book, but that we're not going to do today. But I took a pre-existing Xerox of these pre-Columbian type dogs, and using a certain kind of chemical, I transferred them to the surface of the paper here. And you can see I added color and a decorative border. And then this one over here, I cut an image from a magazine, and I used the same technique. Let me get my pencil here. Okay, thank you. Using the same technique, getting a Xerox, and using a certain chemical, again, I transferred part of that Xerox to the paper here. Okay, and then the same with this image. I had a Xerox, so I used, again, that certain chemicals, and I transferred that image here. And let's see, where's the last one? Okay, a couple last ones. This one was simply drawing. You can see it looks like a nopal or a cactus. With all the little pricklies on it. And then here's the last one, is simply a drawing of a moon, a half moon. Okay, so in certain fashion or idea, all of these images relate to me. So this is a book about me. And just, I think this is kind of humorous. This nopal, the cactus, it has all these little stickers on it, huh? And there have been some people in my life who have told me that sometimes I'm like a cactus, so I can get kind of prickly. If you get too close to me, I'll pick you, okay? But I wouldn't really do that, okay? So anyway, this is an example of a folding book. And today the materials that we're going to use, we have glue, scissors, a piece of construction paper, a pencil if you need it, and a strip of paper. Okay? Now, the way you start with your folding book, this is the easiest way to start. You could start just by taking the paper and folding it to a certain size, and then go on until you get this kind of accordion style book. Let me put this up here as a reminder. Okay? There we go. Or you can do this. You can take the paper, fold it in half, and crease it, and you could use your thumb to crease the edge so you get a nice crisp fold. Okay, so then now you have a strip of paper like so, with one crease in the middle. Then you can come back and take one side of the paper and fold it to the middle. Sometimes if your light is not very good, it's hard to see on the white paper where the middle is. But if your light is not very good, and you could take your pencil and you can make a very light mark down that middle so you know where to crease it. And then you're going to come back and do the same to the other side with your paper and fold it in half, and you're going to crease it again, and then you're going to come, and this, by using this method, you're going to be sure that all your pages are even. You're going to fold that edge to the middle, okay, and crease it nicely so you get a nice crisp line. Then I'm going to continue on this side, take this crease and fold it to the middle. And I hope this is making sense to you. Okay, so I have now, you can see on this side where I folded it, I have all my pages are equal. There's no uneven pages there. So I'm going to take my other side now, as I did before, and fold it in half, and I'm going to go back and fold, excuse me, fold it again to the middle of this section of the paper, and I'm going to bring this fold over to the middle where I originally started, and I'm going to make a crease there. And again, if you don't feel comfortable using this method, as I said, you could just take your strip of paper and decide how big you want the page and fold it and fold it. Let me do that for you so you understand what I'm talking about. So say if I didn't want to go through the methods that I just showed you, I'm going to fold my paper. And as I said, think of an accordion. This is like an accordion book. So then I'm going to fold back here, accordion style. And if all your pages are not exact, that's not a big deal, don't worry about it. Okay, then I'm going to come back again and fold my paper again. And I'm going to continue until I completed the entire strip of paper. And this is a little heavier duty paper. It's really nice. Actually, it's watercolor paper. But it works for this project. Okay, I'm continuing to fold. And some of my folds are not quite even, but I'm not too concerned about that. Okay. And let's see, here's my last piece. Let's see how I turned out. Oh, it's not too bad, huh? Can you see? It's almost the same size. Okay. Because if it was not, and if I really didn't like the way it turned out, I could cut off, excuse me, I could cut off this last page. Okay? It doesn't matter. That's fine. So, what I end up with is a little accordion. Just like this one would be. Or is. A little accordion. So, I'm going to take the first one and I have some construction paper here. Okay, there's another sample. Okay, and I need to make a cover because all books have covers. So what I'm going to do is trace the outside edge of my book, and you'll notice what I'm doing here is that I'm lining up this edge, folded edge, with this edge of the paper, which will give me nice angles. Okay? But if you feel adventurous, you can just go ahead and cut it. And this time I'm taking my pencil and there you can see I have made a little rectangle. I hope you can see that I will use as the cover of my book. So I'm going to then, excuse me, I have frogs in my throat today. I'm going to take my construction paper because I want a front and a back. So I folded my construction paper. Yeah, I'm being a little bit wasteful with my paper, but sometimes that's what you do in art. Okay, so I have my book outlined here. I'm just going to cut. And I find it better, instead of cutting like this up in the air, like so, I find it better to rest my scissors on the surface and then hold the area that I'm going to cut next to it, because that way I'm more stable and I believe I get a better cut. So I'm just cutting on the lines, pencil lines that I made. Okay, and the last one. Okay, there we go. Very nice. Now, whoops, I have one little edge that's kind of tweaking, going up like this, so I'm going to straighten that out. Okay, there we go. Now I have front and a back. I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to apply my glue to my white paper. I can open my glue. Thank you. And this glue is purple, but it dries clear, which is pretty nice. And sometimes I like to put a piece of paper underneath whatever I'm going to, when I'm applying glue, so that I don't get glue on the surface of my workspace. But that's okay. Here goes the glue. Nice and purple so I can tell where I'm applying the glue. Okay. Now, if you want to apply the glue to the construction paper and then adhere it to the book, that's perfectly fine. I just chose to do it this way. So now, I'm laying my cover down and I'm going to make sure that it's securely fastened to the front of my book. Okay, so now there's my front. Now, when you do the back, make sure that you hold it open like so you're not gluing your construction paper to the inside of your book. Okay? It wouldn't be a disaster, but it's not what you want to do. So this time I'm going to put glue on my construction paper. And when you're working on your book, you might want to think, what will be your subject matter of your book? Because I would encourage you to write a story. And you can illustrate your story, meaning that you'll have pictures or images of what you're writing about. So, very easily done. You have your book, and you can write your story, you can illustrate it, and in this time that we're in, maybe you might want to consider a story about being home so much, or the opposite of being out, how you like to be out in the world. Okay, and there you go, you have your little folding book. Okay, so this is another relatively simple project that you can do at home. It doesn't require a bunch of materials, easy to do. If you don't have construction paper, you can take papers from magazines and fold them a few times so they get a little thicker and glue each time so it's nice and sturdy. And you could use that as a cover on your book. You could take newspaper and do the same thing, which would be a very interesting cover. You could take maybe some letters that stand out on the newspaper and make your cover. Or you can take more white paper and perhaps you want to put your initials on here to say that this is your book. For example, if your initials are AL, you could put AL. So there's any number of things that you could do with this wonderful little books. So I hope you have fun with it, enjoy, and thank you for listening.